Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the newly formed Ududuwa Nation.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good anytime. I don't know what time you are, wherever you're watching me from. My name is Ade Thomas from Rective Television, and this is African Politics with the Boss. Today, we have some few people on the show tonight. These are people that knows exactly what they're doing in the community. They know exactly what is going on. They have an in-depth knowledge to what is happening around us all. They are very mature, very experienced. Yes, the youth is their time now, but currently there are so many things that needs to be learned, to know, to go through in everything we're doing. And these guys on the panel today, they have a combination of a very significant experience under their belt. I have pleasure in introducing all these guys to you, but before I do that, there's a video I want us to have a look at it together. It's a documentary that spells some few things. Even though we're talking about EndSARS, we want to see the pro and the one that is against, the one that wants and the one that doesn't want. So, and we have to look at what is happening on ground currently in Nigeria, both in the southern part and in the northern part. Let's have a look at this video, and then I'll come back to you shortly before I introduce my guest to you. Thank you.
In 2019, these boys were tortured by a government-backed vigilante group in northern Nigeria. A warning, these images are distressing. One boy has fainted from the pain. The other is begging to be shot. The punishment this boy fears more than death is a torture technique known as Tabay. And this is not the first time we've seen it. BBC Africa Eye has found dozens of images showing the same form of torture being used by multiple branches of the Nigerian security services. and has uncovered shocking evidence that one of the country's most senior policemen was involved in the torture of a young man who later died from his injuries. So what is Tabay? Where did it come from? Who are the worst offenders? And why are they not being held to account? This investigation began when BBC Africa Eye noticed multiple videos, many too graphic to broadcast, showing detainees bound in a particular way. The arms are forced back and tied at the elbows, cutting circulation to the hands and immobilizing the victim. Sustained over hours, this can be agonizing, but it's just the start of an increasingly sadistic set of variations. The feet can be tied back, arching the spine and contorting the body into a triangle. Victims can be suspended, forcing the full weight of the body onto the arms. A heavy block, usually wood or concrete, can be placed on the victim's back to intensify the pain. The most brutal variant of all, according to one eyewitness, is called the bicycle ride and is used by Nigeria's notorious Special Anti-Robbery Squad, or SARS. We'll come back to this later. Most of the videos we found come from Nigeria. But where did Tabay originate? This footage contains a clue. It comes from the documentary Cry Freetown, shot in 1999 at the height of Sierra Leone's civil war. The soldiers used Tabay to restrain a boy. And those soldiers are Nigerian. Thousands of Nigerians were sent to Sierra Leone and Liberia as part of a West African peacekeeping force called ECOMOG. We tracked down 3 Nigerian soldiers who served with ECOMOG, and all 3 confirmed that this is where they first saw Tabay.
I saw Tabay for the first time in Liberia, a torture tactic used by the rebels to get information from their captives, including Liberian and ECOMOG soldiers. Eventually, the soldiers started applying it on the rebels to also obtain information.
The Liberian rebels, though, were not the first to use it. This statuette, held in the British Museum, was made in Upper Egypt more than 2,000 years ago. It shows a Nubian captive bound in one of the variants of Tabay that is still being used in parts of Africa. Torture is illegal in Nigeria, banned by the Anti-Torture Act of 2017. We asked Justice Ijoma, a human rights lawyer, if under these laws, Tabay is now a criminal offense in Nigeria.
On paper, it is. There is no circumstance that permits the use of torture under our laws. There is no exception.
In the years since this law was passed, new evidence of torture continues to surface on social media. This video, which began to circulate in November 2019, shows a captive dragged from a car by men in military uniform. It was filmed here, close to Banki in northeastern Nigeria, where the army is fighting Boko Haram. We know that these men are Nigerian from the details of their conversation.
All the way from Ekpe, I come Meduguri.
Their vehicle has camouflage that exactly matches the pattern used by the Nigerian army. In this case, Tabay is being used to restrain this man before he is dumped in a shallow grave and shot dead. The Nigerian army has said it is investigating this incident. This is not the only instance of the army using Tabay. 4 separate Nigerian sources, members of the army and the civilian joint task force, told us this video was shot near Maiduguri, in a former rice mill, and that the men responsible are serving soldiers. The Nigerian military told the BBC that Boko Haram fighters sometimes impersonate army soldiers. They said video evidence of misconduct would be examined and that if verified, disciplinary measures would be applied. The armed forces, they said, have a zero-tolerance approach to unprofessional conduct, have intensified training on the rules of engagement, and have established human rights desks to respond to any violations of the military's code of conduct. But Tabay is not confined to the army. A third video shows the arrest of 3 men accused of kidnap. One of them is bound and suspended between 2 cars. We know that this was filmed in Kaduna State because we matched elements in the video to features visible on satellite imagery. This cell tower, this tree, and this roof all place the incident at a petrol station just south of Katari. Closer analysis of the video shows insignia from 3 different units: the Nigerian Mobile Police, the Nigerian Air Force Regiment Special Forces, and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. We put these allegations to the Nigerian authorities. The Ministry of Interior told us that the Security and Civil Defense Corps has a zero-tolerance policy towards torture, that this incident will be investigated, and that those involved will face the wrath of the law. The Nigerian police did not respond. The evidence so far shows men from 4 branches of the military and law enforcement using torture on detainees. But what about the most notorious branch of Nigeria's police, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, known as SARS? SARS has faced multiple allegations of human rights abuses from across Nigeria. And according to lawyer Justice Ijoma, these abuses include the routine use of Tabay.
It is rampant. It is rampant, particularly amongst the SARS operatives, Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigerian police. It's rampant. Despite the passage of the Anti-Torture Act, it seems that has not abated.
This clip, shot in Maiduguri, shows SARS using Tabay as a method of restraint. But we have no visual evidence of detainees being tortured with any of the more sadistic variations. In 2019, however, we found a serving police officer who gave us a disturbing account of what happens inside one SARS police station. For his own safety, we've hidden his identity.
They call it Hawan Keke, the bicycle ride. I have witnessed it often. The room is dark. Your hands are tied up from behind. If it is not tight enough, the elbows are tied in a way that stops the blood from circulating. Your legs are tied to a chair so you cannot move. Then they torture you in whatever way they want. If they decide not to beat you, there is a shocker. They can use the shocker and it sparks brrr when that thing touches you. You feel the shock everywhere, even inside your brain. Sometimes they use 2 of these machines and also beat them with a club. The head of the club is as big as my clenched fist. People are beaten and electrocuted at the same time. Sometimes they do real damage. They break people's legs and hands. Some die. Some survive. If you die, they don't care.
According to the officer, this is not an anomaly. These torture cells, he says, exist in many SARS stations.
Wherever you go in Nigeria, if there is a SARS office in that state, then they have that kind of room. These people's rights are violated beyond imagination.
This investigation began by looking at a particular form of torture. But the focus on Tabay has raised a more fundamental question. Why, when we found so many examples of torture being used, can we find so few cases in which the perpetrators are held to account? One explanation is that torture has its defenders. Some say these methods are a necessary part of the fight against the terrorists and bandits who plague whole regions of the country. But Tabay is not just being used against terrorists. These are the two boys we saw at the start of the film. They were accused not of terrorism, but of stealing $80. We found them at their home in Maiduguri, and with the permission of the boys and their guardian, spoke to them about their ordeal.
Look to the Rawari Sedinda. Oye Karo Menma, Obama, Munakobundura Baksana Mora. Karo and by Mkoenge and as a son, Rangangai, Digana, Kukimba, Gairo.
The boys were tortured in June 2019. Months later, they have still not fully recovered. Determined to get justice, a relative of the boys posted the video to Facebook. The next day, the Civilian Joint Task Force in Borno issued a public apology to the family. The CJTF has since told the BBC that their constitution forbids members from committing any form of crime. This man, they said, Umara Bukar Karumi, was arrested and prosecuted by the police, along with 4 others. But even in this case, there are questions about accountability. Had they been charged under the Anti-Torture Act, they would have faced up to 25 years in jail. Instead, they faced a relatively minor charge of causing hurt without provocation and were sentenced to just 3 months.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
This, says Justice Ijoma, is the heart of the problem. The anti-torture laws exist on paper, but in more than 2 years on the statute books, he says, they have never been used.
I'm not aware of any prosecution following the Anti-Torture Act. Prosecution, let alone conviction.
I guess what I'm thinking is it's tough to see how the authorities would want to prosecute themselves.
Exactly. You know, it encourages them to do it more, so long as they are not caught.
There is no better example of this impunity than the case of the brothers Awalu and Hassan Abdullahi Alpha. In 2014, a SARS officer in Kano was among those found to have tortured these men who were falsely accused of armed robbery. Awalu survived, but his younger brother Hassan died from his injuries. He was just 24 years old. In a civil case brought against the police, the judge ruled that Hassan died as a result of the beating he received in police detention, and that the torture was unlawful, barbaric, and illegal. This is very serious, he concluded, and the Inspector General of Police should do something. But Bulama Bukati, the lawyer who represented this family, says nothing was done.
It was in evidence before the court that the officer in charge of SARS on that day was personally involved in the torture of Hassan and Awalu.
According to the court, the officer in charge that day was this man, Yusuf Kolo. Neither Kolo nor the other SARS operatives have ever faced criminal prosecution for the death of Hassan.
The next thing we had was that Yusuf Kolo, who was heading SARS on the day the deceased was tortured and killed, had been promoted to become the head of SARS at the national headquarters in Abuja.
Since then, Yusuf Kolo has had another promotion. Today, as commander of the Special Tactical Squad for the Inspector General of Police, he's one of the most senior policemen in Nigeria. Contacted by the BBC, the Nigerian police did not respond. Yusuf Kolo declined to comment on the case.
Okay, that is the film I want us to watch before I introduce my guest. Tonight on the program, I have 4 beautiful young people who has wealth experience combined together in what they're doing. Mr. Tony, could you turn your system down a little bit, please, because of feedback? Okay. So I have these 4 people here on the program tonight. I'm going to start with Mr. Femi Babalola first. Mr. Femi Babalola, could you introduce yourself to our audience, please? Go ahead. We can't hear you, Mr. Babalola. We can't hear you. Okay, I'm going to let him come out. I'm going to go to Fatai Ogoribido first. No, I'll go to Tony because Tony seems to be the one who is very organized and ready. Tony, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Tony Wisi. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. I'm a political analyst and also the host of Election 2019 on Heritage TV. I'm following what's going on in Nigeria. I'm delighted to be with you tonight. Thank you.
Fantastic. So the next person I want to go to is Mr. Temitope, who is all the way in the Apple. Mr. Temitope, could you introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here. The name is Ogumiju Temitope. I'm a Yoruba man striving for Yoruba nationality. Thank you.
Great. So while we're waiting for Fatai and Femi Bala to come back, because they're showing red on the screen, so what I'm going to do is we're going to continue the program. First of all, the documentary we watched there, what do you guys think of it, the documentary?
Come out this telly.
Let's go back to Mr. Femi Babala because it's just a pair. Mr. Femi Babala, can you introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Yeah, my name is Femi Babalola. So thank you for bringing me to this show here.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us. And I think Fatai has just shown up as well. I can see him as connected here. Mr. Fatai Ogoribido, could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, thank you. And close the door.
Mr. Fatai, are you there? I can see you green, but I don't know what happened there. So the video we watched just now, shot mainly in the northern part of Nigeria, but the torture, is he confined to the north, or does it happen everywhere? I still have a couple of more videos to show. I'm going to go to Tony first. Tony, SARS operations in Nigeria, what do you think?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about the video we have just watched, to start with, clearly, it's very sad. It's very, very sad, very, very painful. There's no place for that in civilized society. And certainly not in Nigeria of 2020. It's terrible. I mean, words cannot describe it. I don't know what the government is trying to achieve. Clearly the government, it's not a government policy as they will say, but the government cannot be ignorant, cannot claim ignorance of what's going on. So it's very sad. It's totally unacceptable.
What's your take on it, Mr. Femi Babalola?
Yeah, thank you very much. It happened to me. That is
it happens to you?
Yeah, in Maduguri. That is in 1990.
Okay, I think people are trying to reach Mr. Femi Babalola.
It happened to me. It happened to me. That is 1997. 1997 at Maduguri, and I will revenge. I will revenge. We're almost there. We're almost there. I will revenge. I'm waiting for Buhari to bring military out. I will revenge.
I don't understand what you mean by revenge, because revenge
Okay,
doesn't
until
solve
then,
any problem.
we just started it. We just started. Until then.
Let's go to Mr. Ogunwumiju right in the Big Apple. Mr. Ogunwumiju, what do you think of that video?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not surprised to see the human torture of, people, whether criminal or innocent, in the formations of the Nigerian military. The Nigerian military, from the police and all of the paramilitaries, have always been known for abuses over the years.
Thank you.
This is just a tip of the iceberg of what they do to people SARS or no SARS. Basically, I think most of the people in the military of Nigeria to the police needs to go through psychological therapy, because many of them are acting sadistic in their approach to work. So yes, they're trying to do some good job. They're trying to extract information. They're trying to really get to the root of issues. But when a sadistic situation is in place, I mean, you become from a normal investigative person into a brute. So basically, and there's a reason mainly why many of them toe these lines. I'm sure in our progression on the we'll be able to highlight some of the reasons why many of these people have eventually turned daylight criminals in their approach to trying to get information from supposed accused people.
Okay.
So I think very much the SARS is not even something to in a present situation to deliberate about. It's a criminal gang.
Okay. What I find out from our investigation is that the people who are in this department have paid a lot of money to be promoted to that department. So you've paid to be promoted to a department. You want to make your money back. Same thing as the politicians in Nigeria. They pay so much money to get a ticket, the nomination for the party. They want to get their money back. Is this a cycle in Nigeria? To get to university, you have to either open your leg for your lecturer to get a good degree, or your father, your mother needs to know somebody. Is there a culture in Nigeria that is driving all this? Let's give it to Tony, please. We lost you there. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I mean, the things you talk about, evidence of a broken down system, from SARS to corruption to the human rights abuse to the difficulty that our students have in universities, etc. Even trying to get admission, etc. Those are evidence of a broken down society, and that's probably why we have EndSARS. The young men and women are, the youth in Nigeria are protesting in the last few days. So it's terrible, but that's stuff that we all need to collectively come together. And I think Heritage is doing a good job by providing this platform. I give a shout out to Heritage TV because you're facilitating this conversation. It's a larger conversation that we all as Nigerians need to have, because it is not only the perpetrators that are, guilty of an offense here. It's also you and I who keep quiet, who do not use our voice. Like the young man came up with Sorosoki, we're not using our voice. So it's time for everybody to Sorosoki, and then as you do that, we'll begin to change the dialogue, shine light on the issues,
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, Mr. Babalola, you said you were involved in something like this. Tell us, what's your experience? Full details, graphic details of your experience.
Then I was in Bauchi State Sport Council then, during the National Sports Festival. Then I follow Sabo Mohammed to Maduguri, and then very close to Jamina. So on our way crossing the border, the military stopped us on the way that where are we going to? So we are going to Jamina to visit a friend. And they asked for our passport. I said, oh, well, this is our ID card. I don't think that we need that. Jamina is just a border town, One of the men said that, is it because then I was very heavy as a boxer? I said, oh, is it because I'm a boxer? That's why I don't know how to talk. I said, what do I say to you? I didn't even say anything bad to you. Before I know what is happening, he just hit me at the back, bam! And Sabo Mare was saying, "Hey, he was saying that, please take it easy. He's our colleague. He's one of the boxers and this and that, you know." Before I know what is happening, one of the boats just come speaking the Furufurube, that's their language in that area, in the Maduguri language. Before I know what is happening, they just come and hold me in my hand. I'm trying to struggle with them. Leave me alone. What have I done to you? I didn't even do anything bad to you. They tied my hand, my leg, and my two legs at the back, and then my neck on the floor. Hang me.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Yeah, no, later on they put me on the floor there. I cannot even, there's a lot of fly, there's a lot of this now. I even want to try to kill one of the fly. I can't because they tie my hand at the back, my leg at the back. It's only my chest on the floor.
And did he complain to anybody afterwards? Did he try and seek
Sabo
justice?
Mohammed complained. Sabo Mohammed complained. Well, after I got back to Bauchi, I tried to explain to Sonny Toro. Sonny Toro is the former director of sport in the Bauchi, understand me? And then I went to the office. Sonny Toro was not even around there. So suddenly, when I went to Burkina Faso, on my way coming from Burkina Faso for some training and some event. And then I explained to Sonny Toro in the flight. Sonny Toro said, yeah, you hear about that. I should sorry that I know Nigeria military in that area, they're very dangerous. I should be very careful of them. I should not argue with them again next time. And then that is it, you know. That is how it goes, and I can't even fight. I can't even, because they have gun. I don't want them to kill me. You know. That's what happened then. And the second one is this: in semi-border area. In semi-border area is last year. I went to Nigeria. I checked in from Germany,
Just
going
last
to
year?
Nigeria.
Just last year.
Last year, just coming last year. I went to Nigeria. I checked in my luggage from Düsseldorf Airport to Murtala Airport. Do you know what happened? I get to Lagos. I cannot find my luggage. And I asked, where's my luggage from Turkish Air? They said, no, I should come back. That my luggage is missing. So suddenly, they call me around 12 o'clock in the night. I should come. I said, no, I'm not coming out. I'm in the Kenya. Then I am not going anywhere in the night. Then the second day I went to the airport, they brought another bag. The bag they brought there is another bag. I said, this is not my bag. They said, my tag is on it. I said, this is not my bag. One of the DSS is asking me that, what is my name? I say, but this is not my bag. This is not my bag. They said there's any evidence. God saved me that my bag, I took the picture with WhatsApp and sent it to my wife. That's only what saved me. And after them, they open the bag. There's another thing inside the bag.
Wow. Mr. Temitope, what's your take on Mr. Babala's story? It's a very heart-sickening story.
It's very pathetic. You see,
I have the evidence. I have all the evidence, both report and everything. I have the evidence.
Most of the time, you see, when you have baked professionals, have baked trained officers, you'd always get, very poor quality service. I believe very much that, in our country, a lot of
Mr. Temitope, sorry to cut you in. You say half-baked officers.
Yes, half-baked.
Before you continue, let's leave it to Fatai Ogunbido to the chance to introduce himself. Then I'll come back because there's something I want to say. Mr. Ogunbido. Mr. Ogunbido. Okay. I don't know what happened to his system there. His system is trying to give him a lot of problems. He says that actually refresh more than 10 times and he can't get it. When you say half-baked officers, half-baked means the ones that are not trained properly. Do you think this is down to training, or there's a culture in these things?
Right. You see, these are people who are just turned into society without proper training. They are not given all the norms and the rules of engagement. They just gather some people who are desperate to get on the payroll of the federal government, and they give them training for a couple of weeks, and they're out there. All they want to do is to just try and get the money. And these are the people, these same people are people who probably got there bribing their way through, to be able to be on enlistments. So all they want to do is just make money, which way anyway. And like I said, when you look at it properly, you see the sadistic part of it. They're coming with a lot of heart into service. So how do you expect them to behave when they're in society? All they want to do is cut a nail, just make money. They're not professional at all in any way. So you begin to see results of habit training in society with the way all the people who are in paramilitary or the military behave. So, and those who are supposed to have the best of training among them, by the time you report issues as this to them, they'll say, oh, the force is very good. Those are the bad eggs. Okay, weed out the bad eggs. They are not going to weed them out because there's no way to even replace them. Who wants to go and join soldiers that are not even sure of a future tomorrow? So all the people they are doing is survival tactics. All this brute nature they have is because they really want to survive, extract, get money, just make it which way anyway, and it falls back on the society. So most of these people are not well trained. The rules of engagement in dealing with people in society are not properly observed. And of course, what we're observing, what we're seeing in our society is what we always get. Until we go back to actual professional training and rules of engagement in any society or any place around Nigeria, we can't get results. These are people who, like I said, they are not properly trained. So that's just the reason why we see all these
nonsense
threats and issues within the paramilitary or the military. So I believe very much until they begin to tell these people and put their job on the line. If you're not doing the right thing, you'll be fired. So until then, we'll not have anything coming out from the military or the police that is right.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Temitope. I really appreciate that. Maybe I'm going to go to Tony, if Tony is available for me by any chance. Tony, half-baked officers, is that what is causing this problem? Or is there a culture in Nigeria?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about half-baked officers. But first of all, I want to say to my friend, Mr. Babalola, for the experience that you had. The Nigerian soldiers obviously were acting on behalf of the rest of us who are Nigerian citizens. And so I believe that as a people, we owe you an apology, sir, for the bad experience you had. I'm terribly sorry on behalf of the Nigerian people. It's not the way we expect our men and women in uniform to treat citizens. It was very traumatic for you and your family. So,
thank you.
Apologies to you, sir. But on the larger question of half-baked officers, I wouldn't say so. The evidence is too much. There's a saying in America which says, if he walks like a dog, quacks like a dog, it's a dog. So someone doesn't quack like a duck and walk like a duck and not end up being a duck. It's a duck. So this is just like racism in America, which we'll cover here, and systemic racism in the States. This is clearly evidence of systemic problems, and I think Nigerian people, all of us, have a duty to sorosoke. And so shine light on this. And as we shine light on it, then, we'll begin to have a more robust conversation and people begin to see that this cannot be right. And we cannot treat Mr. Babalola the way we have treated him. And we cannot treat all the other men and women, our citizens, our brothers, our sisters, our fellow citizens, who have gone through such traumatic pain, such embarrassment, such humiliation. It cannot be right. It cannot be right. So everybody, Sorosuke. Thank you, sir.
Can I just say something about what Mr. Tony is talking about? I don't know how you'll be apologizing on behalf of force and people who do know what they're doing. You think those officers, hurting people, doing, treating people bad in society, you think they are not doing it? You think they're not doing it out of their normal lucid state? They know what they're doing. Basically, I believe very much when you go into society, if you take a tour of the police training college, you would know these people are not even trained. So when we say are baked, these are people who do not even know what it means to police. They don't even know what it means to actually be a soldier. They just get into training, and before you know it, they're out there in society. They are not properly trained. They are half-baked. They are people who are just, they just want to be out of unemployment. Because if not, when you go into the police college and you see how people live, how these guys are trained, and the time they are turned back into society, you'll know they are not trained at all. So to take apology on behalf of a country, on behalf of people who know what they do, I think it's too much. These people know what they are doing. I said it's more of a sadistic situation. When you go into police college and you see how people live like animals, how they are trained, how then they are turned into society, what do you expect of such a man? A man that has been abused, a man that has been tortured, a man that has gone through situations we can't even begin to explain here. Then that person goes into society and you expect him to give you quality service? It's not possible. These are half-baked people. Their training is not even at par with training anywhere in the world. These are people who just want to get out of unemployment, and then you begin to deliver to some other people. Then the issue of sadist situation comes in. Oh, after all this trouble, I got the politicians. They make all the money, and then you want me to be nice to society? They can never be nice to society. When you go into their police college, I'm using that as a reference. What's it called? BBC did a documentary on the training of our police people. It's terrible. You can't even score that training. It's like putting people through a torture camp. Then you now roll those people back into society. What do you expect them to show people in society? Exactly what they got. So they're not, half-baked is even trying to, garnish it. They are not trained at all. Soldiers or the police, they are not properly trained. And that is why you get resultant, terrible, and, manhandling of people in society. It's the sadistic part is the wickedness, the brute nature they show to people. They are not properly trained.
Okay. What I'm going to do, I think Fatai Ogonibido is back, right? Mr. Fatai, introduce yourself to our audience now, please. Yeah. You need to move back a little bit from the camera. Mr. Fatai, can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Peter.
I think your internet is not doing justice to you today, though, yeah? Maybe I should let you go for today. Mr. Ogonibido, I'm going to let you go for today because your internet, I don't know what happened there. It's never like this before, but it's just not doing you a good justice. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you for joining the program today, Mr. Ogonibido. Good night. We're going to go back to Tony. Tony, training, the kind of training they receive at the police academy. We saw their hostel. We saw their dormitory. We saw where they live. We saw how they eat. What do you think? What's your take on this one?
Well, first of all, the gentleman who was speaking earlier on, who said, challenging the apology to Mr. Babalola. I apologize to Mr. Babalola because I'm a Nigerian. I am a taxpayer. The soldiers are employed by you and I. They're civil servants, and so they're working on behalf of you and I. So that's why I apologize to Mr. Babalola, and also because he's a Nigerian, he's my
But they don't know that. They don't know that. They're acting in their capacity as soldiers. They're not saying because they're actually working for us Nigerians as well. That's why they get away with whatever they're doing.
I'm not holding brief for them. I'm dealing with the higher issue of the fact that these guys are civil servants that are paid through our taxes. They work for us. Number one. Number two, I'm concerned about the feelings, the emotion, and the suffering that my friend, my brother, Mr. Babalola, has gone through. Not just himself, his wife, his children, his friends, the trauma. So the purpose of the apology is to reach out to Mr. Babalola for what he has suffered in a little way that we can. But I also understand your sentiment. I hear what you say, sir, about the training these gentlemen, these officers are receiving. Clearly, they're not receiving very good training. I agree with you. I think that the Nigerian government needs to pay serious attention to the quality of training we give to our officers. I mean, everything we've seen in the media that represents the hostels where they live in, the kind of food they eat, the way they live, and all, it cannot be right. I mean, so I understand the sentiment when you say they're half-baked, half-trained, or untrained. There is, you have a strong point there. But again, all of these things, I've always held the view that evil perseveres, evil persists where good men keep quiet. The reason why evil persists in a society like Nigeria or United Kingdom, or the police brutality in America, having a knee on a man's neck, right? Or shooting the girl in her home, right, for doing nothing, right? And all the abuse we've seen in the media in the United States, in Nigeria, we don't have that much in the UK, thank God. But the reason why evil persists in a society, in a community, is because me and you keep quiet. And so I celebrate the young men and women who came up with the phrase when the governor of Lagos State was addressing to them, who said to him, Sorosoke, Sorosoke, speak up. And so it is a mantra for you, sir. It is a mantra for me, for all Nigerians. If we want to see change, transformation in our country, transformation in our communities, better human rights, and all of that, we all have a duty to speak up. And I think that's where it is.
Sorosoke is the new language that needs to go in the Oxford English Dictionary, probably. Because if it doesn't go there, we're not going to know where we're going. Sorosoke, Wiri, Sorosoke Wiri, right? Thank you for the youth for coming up with this phrase. Yeah. If you want anything change in the society, as they say, you need to speak up for it. Sorosoke. I'm just going to speak to the people at home quickly. Guys, thank you for joining me today. It's lovely having you around. I thank the people on Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, and the very few on Facebook. I think a lot of people are running away from Facebook now to Lisa Hall. Thank you for joining as well. To YouTube now, which is very, very good idea. I want to thank every one of you for joining me. Please and please make sure you are safe, whatever you're doing. I think probably Fatai Ogunibido is back. Let's go to him and see whether we can get out of him now. Mr. Fatai, you need to move back a little bit from your camera so that I can show you. Move back a little bit from your camera now. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Fatai, introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Fatai Ogunibido. I've been trying to make
I
certain
don't want to see your head. Okay, that's better now.
Okay. I've been trying to make certain points which I think is not being heard. Simply because my network here is so terrible. I hardly heard most of the things that had been discussed, but I have a basic knowledge of what is being discussed about the wickedness of SARS. And are you hearing me? Are you
Yeah,
hearing
we
me?
can hear you.
Okay, thank you
Yes.
very much. First of all, let us understand that we are in a civilian regime. And for our civilian regime to be treating its citizens like this, it goes to show us that there is no government in place. All we are having is a sort of a government that is trying to cajole, to intimidate, to suppress, to completely degrade the real humanity that is in us as Nigerians. This is an unprecedented situation that is actually arising in Nigeria.
Getting any joy today? He's frozen again. Even though I want him to go before, but he still managed to fight his way back. Mr. Fatai, thank you for joining us once again. Let's go back to Mr. Who should we go to? Should we go to Mr. Babalola? Mr. Babalola, I'm still dreading your experience in the hand of these people. When you left there that day, what do you think of yourself? You could have been killed.
Yeah. And I went back to after I got back to Jos, then I went back to Zaria at the barrack, and then actually, even the Sabu Mohammed is telling that my dad is a military man as well, but they don't even listen. I say, and then at the end of the day, I tried to complain to the Major General Bameyi, and Bameyi just laughed. He just told me that was enough of the guy. And then he took phone and he called the commandant there. And then after that, I don't know what happened next. So that is it. So what I would just say about Nigeria institution about the police is this. We don't have an institution of police. You know, if you see what's going on in Nigeria today about the Nigeria police, the background of the Nigeria police is totally zero. I will tell you the truth. If they want training, they should come to abroad for training. I've been and I've worked in the superior department before. I will not mention the place. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. To be a policeman, you must be disciplined. To be a policeman, you must go to school. To be a policeman, you must not be a racist. To be a policeman, you must try to trust and believe in your citizens. To fight corruption, to fight criminal, it's not about force. There's a lot of strategy idea we can use to fight all this kind of criminal act. I remember when I was in Spain, we fight corruption in less than 24 hours. And I want to tell everybody here today, Nigeria is finished. There's nothing calling Nigeria. Even if we have a new president from Yoruba land or from Igbo land, Nigeria cannot be the same. It can never be the same.
That's true.
That's what I would just say. If anybody that is deceiving themselves, that they still believe in Nigeria, we are in it. We'll wait until the end.
Okay,
Thank you.
Let's look at it from this way. There was a story on the social media some few days ago in which a lady, two people, they live in Enugu in Biafra land. They were born the same time. They went to the same primary school, no problem. When they finished primary school, they did common entrance. The guy who is from Enugu, the Igbo guy, scored a very good mark. The Hausa guy that was in Enugu schooling as well didn't score well. They both went to the same federal government school in Enugu. When they finished, they did jam. Both of them did jam. After the jam, the Igbo guy has about 340 something marks. And surprisingly, the Hausa guy, the guy from the north, scored only 160. And they end up still in the same university.
And he will be ambassador later.
And when they finish, the Igbo guy has a first class, and the other guy got a pass. And after the NYSC, The Hausa guy gets straight to a job. And the Igbo guy keep roaming the street looking for job. And that was saddening. Then within 2 years, he became a judge in Abuja. The Hausa guy became a judge in Abuja.
If it's not even going to be ambassador.
And then they both read law. And the guy became a judge in Abuja within a short time. And the other guy now become a court clerk in Abuja, the same court. Why will you not be hungry? Why will you not be sad? The guy that you are much more qualified than is now your boss. Tell me, how can these things be done properly? Remember some few weeks ago, they sent somebody to the International Criminal Court at The Hague.
It was rejected,
And they did exam for them there before they can actually pick them on. And surprisingly, the guy they supplied from Nigeria is a northerner. And it failed so woefully that they said they have never seen anybody who is a judge that failed that much. Terribly, terribly, terribly failed.
And sorry to cut you there, and it happened during the Bakassi Peninsula as well. Who could have won the case is because of the people they sent to The Hague as well. That's why they lost the court here. They lost the case.
And it's still happening. So let's now look at it. The people that can do the job properly in Nigeria were not offered the chance to do it properly. But they gave the job to somebody who cannot do it properly. So how do you expect them to do it properly? It's not, even if they want to train them, if they send them to the best training school, somebody that cannot even read and write, how could he lead something? I'm going to show you a video that is very sickening. We were fighting this EndSARS thing now. Do you know some people are clamoring for SARS? And these people who are clamoring for SARS are in uniform. They all wear the same vest, which means they are sponsors by some organization. Let's watch this video. Thank you.
It's not recording.
What is happening right now, you're watching, is a pro group in support of SWAT and SARS. These are mercenaries from government of our country. You can see how useless, how irresponsible the Buhari government, is exposing itself, disgracing itself, disgracing our country. Imagine.
Almajiris.
Imagine Almajiris.
Sponsored people with t-shirts.
Can you imagine?
That don't even know what is
Can
what.
you imagine?
Can you imagine this country?
They have t-shirts on, face caps. Look at. Well funded by government of the country. Look at our country. What a shame. The same young people they've impoverished, they bring them out for things like this. And then at the end of it all, they abandon them. That's what's going on. Look at it. This is Abuja today. 19th.
Obviously different from the kind of protest EndSARS.
Clearly, this is to counter it.
People that don't even know what they are doing. They don't even know what they are, what's in their hand.
Look at.
How do we do now? What do you go to?
I'm going to drive through them and then return.
Okay, that is the protest there. They were wearing uniform and they're wearing cap, same uniform. Maybe they buy their uniform like the Oduduwa people buy the uniform up here. But does it make sense for people to be fighting for SARS with the way they've been killing people? Who will be in their right mind? When they killed Floyd in America, did any group came out in support of the police officer during that period? Tony, Did anybody come out to support? No. Let's give it to Temitope because Temitope is actually in America, so let's ask someone that probably is part of the system. Did anybody come out to support them?
It is so low
Pathetic.
thinking it is so low thinking to even see people who are humans supporting, a supposed defund. An organization that has been, cancelled. It amazes me, that people can be in their right senses and still support evil. Well, I don't blame them. Sometimes when you go through so many traumatic situations, you begin to assume what you're doing is right. You begin to see black as white. The average Nigerian, believe me, I'm saying this on air, the average Nigerian, whether with a PhD or a BSc or an MSc, is psychologically, they're psychologically imbalanced. Their thinking is not right. Because over time, we have seen what it means to do something right. But yet, we begin to make waves. If it's not right, it's not right. The same thing, the same strategy the politicians are using against the people is what you see right there. They are sponsored. Of course, they were sponsored. Of course, they've been told, don't worry, we'll give you 3,000 naira. I was watching, just before I came on air, I was watching some of the people that went for the rally. They were promised about 3,000 naira by APC government. It's ridiculous. You are being promised money. I've never seen anywhere, even here in America, where system still works. You would see that even if it's a human error, people are still out there trying to ensure the police department is defunded. Cut their wings, cut their powers, because we know it's only when people are thinking right, you begin to assume things like that. Nigeria is a pathetic situation. I'm beginning to think there's something wrong with the psyche of our people. And I'm saying that psyche of our people, whether educated or not, the politician will come and bamboozle them, give them money on election day, they vote for a candidate being chosen. The same thing goes straight down into society. The policeman, is the one that gives money to the boss that is promoted. Why would successive, bad issues not come up in society? So I believe very much it's not even right to even think of it, that people are protesting in support, where you have millions of people sorosokeing and saying, no, this has to stop. Of course, a government that would want to continue in their evil and atrocities would sponsor people and say, hey, go and tell them you support SARS. Before the rallies we've been having, I saw a document that was written from the North. We have a government of the North and a government of the South. I don't know why people are not being realistic with the situation of Nigeria. Nigeria is not one. Nigeria, we can be one. When some people who are in their normal senses are saying, no, this is not right. Some are saying, no, this is what we want. Because of nepotism, because of that ethnic card. They are playing the ethnic card. Or because it's an Hausa man or it's a Fulani man that is there. Whatever the Fulani man does, whether good or bad, we support it. Then, you're not looking from the angle of whether it is right or not. So this is the situation of Nigeria. Nigeria can never be one. Nigeria has never been one. So for anyone to be in his senses and support this kind of situation, there's something wrong. There's definitely something wrong. There's something wrong.
Thank you. Tony, what do you think? Nigeria, the way it is, Nigeria go separately, Nigeria reform the constitution? Because someone was saying the problem we have in Nigeria is the 1999 constitution, which is a fraud, that we should go back to the 1960 constitution. Tony.
Clearly Nigeria is not working. I mean, in a blind and deaf man can see Nigeria is not working. And then so what you do as an intelligent person when something is not working is you bring people together and you have a serious conversation about how to make it work. Nigeria is not working. You can't have a situation where at the head of every single parastatal, at the head of every single major government office, this Army, Navy, Air Force, Central Bank, NNPC, is Hausa Fulani, Muslim, all of this stuff, for where the president comes and say he doesn't trust the Southerners, or he doesn't trust those people. I mean, who the heck are you going to trust? So Nigeria is not working. Okay, Nigeria is not working. So the value system of the North and the South is different. So Nigeria is not working. So what we need to do is have a serious conversation about whether or not we should stay together as one nation, number one. Number two, if we're going to stay together as one nation, then we have to look at restructuring. There is, the status quo cannot work. And it's not rocket science. It's not something new. I mean, look at the United States. United States got over 50 states. Georgia is different from New York. New York is different from California. You have a Supreme Court in California. You have a Supreme Court in New York. You have, look at United Kingdom. You have England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. Power is devolved to the regions. So the regions can control local matters because local matters are local matters. The situation where we have an inspector general of police in Abuja, in the Eiffel, in the luxury tower in Abuja, appointing a commissioner in Ogbomoso, or appointing a commissioner in a man from Kaduna, sending him to police Ogbomoso, or a man from Lagos sending him to go and police Enugu, is comical. It's completely comical. So we should have state police, even local government police, like you have in the United States and in UK here. So Nigeria is not working as it is, period. Whether you like it or you don't like it, it's not working. So we have to look at either restructuring, a serious restructure, or you split the country into 2, 3, 4, 5 places. And again, that's nothing new. Soviet Union split up into multiple countries. Czechoslovakia split up. Several countries are split up because they can't be together. And you cannot, from now till tomorrow, whether you like it or you like it, you cannot force, compel, insist that people who do not want to be together, who have different value systems, should stay together. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Okay. Mr. Ogonibido is back. Before I come to you, Mr. Femi Babalala, let's take absolute advantage of his internet that is still working now. Maybe they manage. Did you call the internet provider help tonight to come and fix it, Mr. Ogonibido?
Well, actually, it's not my home internet. It's just my workplace internet. Unfortunately, I can't help it. So, but this is the situation I find myself
now.
Well, surprisingly, it's fluctuating. As I've said, I was even going to find a way maybe to call, because the issue being discussed tonight is not a child's play at all. We are talking about a system that has completely held the entire nation in captive.
You need to move back away from your device. Move back a little bit from your device. Okay, now better. Yes. Now keep talking. Yeah.
I just want to be heard. So try to want to be.
Don't worry. Just continue.
The microphone. So we are talking about a system that has completely, cajoled the entire nation, and we don't have to be putting words under our tongue. Nigeria is a farce. That nation is fake. Honestly, let any reorganization, any restructuring take place today, those who have hijacked the destiny of this country since 1960, they will never give up. The only thing that can actually allow people to have a little benefit of livelihood is to dismantle the entire system and let all the people who are stakeholders go on their own way and establish a better life for themselves. Whatever English we are speaking, whatever semantics we are using, let me tell you, Nigeria is complete fake. Those who made up Nigeria did not make up Nigeria for Nigeria to be a nation. They made it up as a business enterprise for themselves. And that's what we are seeing. And that is the Euro-Fulani conspiracy that is suppressing the will of Nigeria. And they are not even suppressing the will of Nigeria. They are suppressing the will and the plan and the destiny and pressing down the destiny of the entire southern Nigeria. Because that is the engine room of Nigeria. South Nigeria is the engine room. And many of these European nations across the world, they fear what a very black nation will bring into the world. And those
That's
who
right.
have the capacity to do that are the Yoruba race. And we can see the enterprise nature of the Igbos as well. So Yorubas and Igbos combined, you can see we are going to move. That's the reason why today the black world is in chains. Because the root of the black world is being completely deprived of real life. And the future we are going to be discussing it. It's a model. It's a model. Nobody has empowered the black nation to be a successful nation. So the entire destiny of Nigeria is being lived outside of Nigeria, and that is within all the European nations and the America. They are the one living our life. This is the time we have to hold the bull by the horn. Let these youths who are really who are doing their campaign, who are doing their protest, let them understand that if they protest till eternity, nothing is going to change. They should be changing their style protest now to end Nigeria now. Otherwise, they have got no future in this contraption. This is the reality. This is the reality, and we have to face it. Nigeria is not working. Nigeria is not real. Nigeria is a farce. It's the business enterprises for Anglo and the Euro-Fulani ensemble. This is the fact. Let us understand that unless we fight for our destiny to be grabbed back from those who have hijacked it, we may never see freedom in southern Nigeria. We may never see good life in southern Nigeria. And it is not a coincidence that even since independence, electricity has been used as a weapon of mass destruction. Lack of water provision has been used as a weapon of mass destruction. The police brutality is being used as a weapon of mass destruction. The military being sent on the street of Nigeria as if their police are being used as weapons of mass destruction. When is Nigeria going to have a proper life? There is no Nigeria. This is the reality. Let us dismantle it and go our way, and let's go and establish our ways. We know what Yorubas means into the entire world. Only in Brazil, we have 80 million Yorubas. In Cuba today, 60% of Cuba and they are Yoruba. And they meaning sort of creation, in their own demeaning sort of conspiracy, they are putting the population of Yoruba race as 50 million or 60 million. This is depriving. This is an Yoruba in Nigeria can be less than one. This is part of the problem. This is what part of strategy they are using to suppress the will and the intelligence of Yoruba race. Entrapment. This is the reality. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Mr. Babalola wanted to say something there before I give it to Fatai. I was thinking maybe his internet is going to run away, but it never run away. Thank you, Mr. Internet or Mr. whatever makes it happen. Mr. Babalola, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I would like to say something. I would like to congratulate the Yoruba people for a new nation. It's just around the corner. It's just around the corner. A new nation. It's just around the corner. And I will congratulate the Biafra as well, a new nation, and other people that want to follow. There's no negotiation. No negotiation. The game is over. The game is over. And I want to tell everybody here tonight, if they think that they want to fight war,
they are threatening.
They will regret. They will regret. They will regret the day they were given that name Fulani. They don't know what is on ground. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Babalola. Mr. Tony, I want you to pour out your mind about what is going on in Nigeria. But before you pour out your mind, make sure you're back a little bit away from your camera so that I can see you fully. Pull the laptop cover towards you a little bit. Pull the cover down a little bit, yeah, so that I can see you more. Pour your mind out to me. What do you think is happening in Nigeria currently? What do you think? What's your take on that?
I mean, it's very clear that, like I said earlier, Nigeria is not working. There's a lot. The injustice has been going on for too many years. And our young people have suffered. Our friends, our brothers, like Mr. Babalola, for instance, and so many others who we don't have names for, they have suffered in the hands of governments or government security services. They have not treated with respect that they ought to treat them. So people are protesting. They are, they're upset. They're angry, and it's just not good enough. And of course, the way Nigeria is, the presidential system which we have is part of the problem, which puts so much power in the hands of one man. And there's no accountability, which again, I think is a mistake that Nigeria made by giving up the parliamentary system and pursuing the presidential system. We can see the failings, the weakness of the presidential system by looking at the model Nigeria copied, which is the United States. They copied the United States. You can see the gross shortcoming of that system in the Trump administration. So the parliamentary system would have served us much better. But Nigeria has decayed over the years, and you can see why the like of Mr. Babalola, for instance, is giving the ominous warnings. And several other people are also saying the same thing. They've had enough. They want to form their own nation. They want to break it. Someone like Nnamdi Kanu, for instance, another person who has eloquently made the case for Biafra, just like some of the Yoruba leaders are making the case for Oduduwa nation. You have to respect that, because you cannot force people to live in a country where they do not feel comfortable, feel at home. You can't force people to live together. So the Yoruba people saying they want to have their own nation, for instance, you have to respect that. And also, a lot of Igbos are saying the same thing. So you have to respect that. So Nigerians, we as a people, I feel that we need to come together and have this serious conversation, which is what our young men and women have started doing. They've led the way. The president called them lazy. The youth are lazy. They showed you they're not lazy.
They're lazy or not.
They've been very smart. They've been very sophisticated. They've used 21st century tools. They've been very smart in the way they've gone about stuff. Apart from protesting, they've cleaned up. Apart from cleaning up, they prayed. They prayed the Christian way. They prayed the Islamic way, and they carry on with their protests. It's been non-violent. So you can't beat the sophistication and the wisdom of our young people in this protest. They have been absolutely fantastic. So this is politics on the street level. We should have had it a long time ago. But as they say, it's better late than never. So I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm glad our young people are leading it. I'm glad they're using technology. I wouldn't say that it's too late to keep Nigeria together. But I understand the sentiment of those who feel that it's too late. I would say that we can still have a robust and honest conversation about our country. Let me say this, sir. United States went through a civil war. Okay, and I'm not making a case for either side. I'm not making a case for those who want to break it out or those who want to stay. I'm just giving the principles. United States had a civil war. You had the United States versus the Confederate States of America. And it was because of some of these problems that they had that war, and eventually they resolved it. Eventually, and they now have one nation as United States, and they've been a strong nation, etc., etc. So, but also you have the like of the Soviet Union that broke up completely. So, all in all, everybody, the young people have said it. Everybody sort of okay. Speak your mind. Come out. Our fathers made a mistake because one Soros okay, our fathers made a mistake because they did not speak up. Now, our generation in the 40s and our 50s, we have a sacred duty to speak up. Our young people are leading the way and we have to follow, which is terrible, but better late than never. Everybody, Soros speak up, get into the marketplace, let the pastors leave their pulpits, right, and stop playing the sycophants, right, and stop playing the religious game. Leave your pulpits. Let our religious leaders leave their mosques. Let them get on the streets, and let's have this politics in the market square, in the marketplaces, at Lekki Toll Gate, and all the road junctions where our young people are coming out and marching and protesting and all that. We need to have this politics on the streets, and everybody needs to speak up. Old, young, men, women, female, everybody needs to go out there. That's my take on that. And then eventually we're going to have a proper conference, and then we're going to try and come to some sort of sensible solution, which may well be a breakup of the nation, or it may well be a proper restructuring so that Nigeria begins to work as a proper nation. A 21st century nation should work.
Mr. Timotokpe, can Nigeria ever work again? Is it too late for it to work?
Nigeria can never work again. And I'm not saying this to dismiss the fact that...
Why will you say it will never work again? Why did what did you see that these young guys are not saying?
I'm just about to break it to you.
You
see, I just to make a quick reference to what Mr. Tony said when he said Nigeria copied the presidential system of the United States, and that's why things are not working. You have to observe that the kind of presidential system we're copying in Nigeria is not what is being done here. Nigeria is supposed to be a federation state, but what do we have? Federal character, a very powerful president. Everything has to exclusive list on the constitution, written by one man in the corner of his bedroom, Professor Abubu. This is not a symposium to even talk about whether Nigeria will work or not. Nigeria can never work with the constitution we have at this time. And the north of Nigeria, they are trying to protect their lives. They know if they restructure Nigeria, they are in for it. If they restructure Nigeria, the North is going to be on the losing strip. So the North would never, whether we die, whether we say, whether we cry, the North will never want to restructure Nigeria. Our fathers have been clamoring for restructuring of Nigeria for over 2 decades. What has happened till now? Nothing. They gave them till October 1 to restructure Nigeria. What has happened? Nothing. So we'll just continue to give lip service to, we want to restructure. I can tell you, in as much as I support 100%, all the efforts of the young, people on the street, I'm telling you, they can give them some of those, of the agendas they have, some of the items they have on that agenda. But when it comes to restructuring, it's a no-go area. And that is why we, the Yoruba nation, we have decided, because Nigeria, as it were, the entity that, literally doesn't even exist after the amalgamation of 1914 that has expired. I know very much that no matter what you do, the north of Nigeria would rather die than restructure Nigeria. Because if they restructure, how would a child from the north, who gets only 2, when my own child got 260 to go into King's College, they get only 2 over 400, and then they're in King's College. How do you want that to continue? How would that continue to happen for them if Nigeria is restructured? If Nigeria does not cancel federal character? If the constitution that, for as far as I'm concerned, is more like a toilet paper, continues to be what we use as a basis to judge our laws and our people, Nigeria can never work. Thank you.
Nigeria can never work. That is the first voice of Mr. Timotokwe, who has his own point. I'm sure if I ask Fatai, we're going to be doing the same question. He will have his own point. And if I ask Mr. Femba Balola as well, he will have his own point. So, but the first thing I've asked only that same question. Let me go to Mr. Babalola first of all, because I know Fatai will have a very long statement to make. And as long as his microphone, he move away from his camera, then I'll give him the chance to say something. Mr. Babalola, over to you. Will Nigeria ever work?
It will never work. And I'm trying to say something to everybody in the whole world today. They fail us. They destroy our father's life. They kill our soldiers. A lot of the Yoruba soldiers, Biafra, Mirubed, in the battle war, which is a fake battle war. Buratai, I'm giving you a warning. If you dare bring a military out in Nigeria, you have a meeting yesterday. You will regret the day your mother was born you to this world and President Buhari. It's not about threat. It's a warning. I won't say more than that.
Ogunbido now, the man who has a lot to pour out. Fatai Ogunbido, go ahead, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. The point remains that we have actually tried as a people. Our resilience, our accommodating nature, our patriotism, our loyalty, our love for people have been completely abused. And you can see where we are now. And if anybody is having its right senses within the Yoruba nation, which by God's grace is going to emerge very soon, if you have any involvement with this government, let me tell you, you are just playing your life away. That is the truth. Either as a governor, because to start with, this government, the Yoruba nation or Yoruba people have got no representation in this government, either on the senatorial level or on the governor in the state level as governors. What we have are all the Tinubu selected political walls. All the representation we have is Tinubu, because that is the problem we've had in Yoruba land for a very long time. Divide and rule. They divide us, try to empower through financial resources and through military resources, empower the weak links to suppress those people who are how many true leaders of Yoruba has ever been involved in governance in the past since 1979. So the more we come out of political system, the more the Fulanis perfect their system to suppress and to deprive us of right life. So the time has come now. Since they said a fool at 40 is a fool forever. We are talking about a fool at 60, and we can see simple demonstration by youth. The North is threatening military attack. You can imagine we can never be one as a country. And there is no going back. The Yoruba nation must emerge. And if you are a youth and you are watching this program, let me explain to you if you don't know. Go back to the archives and learn the history of Nigeria. Nigeria is a Euro-Fulani hijacked land, whereby they are using all the lines have been developed to all the Fulani land in Niger and Chad, whereas the resources are come from the south, and the south are in complete poverty. So that goes to show you whatever effort you are making in protesting that you want, you can never change the system. This is the truth. Go back to basics and go and develop your own race. Go and create your own economic power. Go and tell the world that you can do it. Because the engine that is blowing, that is making Nigeria to survive today, are the southern Nigerians. Tell me, how many northerners are in the forefront of creating a good name for Nigeria abroad? All they are there to do is to grab political posts and loot the money. This is what they are known for a very long time.
That's right.
Obasanjo used diplomacy to see if he can turn the tides round. Unfortunately, eventually he realized that he had been used all along against his own people. And when the reality now came to him, that he is only being used as an instrument of destruction for his own people, he pulled back. That is the inner caucus of those Keba, because he was part of the Keba that has been in Nigeria since the end of the war, 1967. The inner caucus are the Fulanis, being controlled by the Emirates. So those who are controlling Nigerian destiny today are the Emirs. This is the truth. We have to get out of this. It's a trap. We are in a chain. We are in chains in southern Nigeria. We have to get out. This is the reality. As a youth, I'm telling you, I'm empowering you today. Go to Israel. You can never achieve anything positive where you are still within Nigeria. You must turn that protest to end Nigeria now and let Odua nation and Biafra nation emerge, and let us give the black world a pride. Let the entire world know that another super nation is emerging in black race, and that's going to be the Yoruba nation. You are demeaning your race if you are still supporting Nigeria. You are trying to suppress your future. You are trying to deprive your future. You are depriving children. In 100 years' time, you're going to be nothing if you are still remain as Nigeria. Let the older nation, let it emerge, and let Biafra emerge, and let the other one emerge, and let us now go and develop ourselves within our own capacity of whatever professional know-how we have. Let us go and develop our capacity according to our own economic value, economic resources. Let us go there and do it. And we know that within 5 years, the economy of Yoruba nation will surpass that of many nations of the world. Remember that far back to the mid-50s, Yoruba nation was having television even before France. Yoruba nation had television before France and many number 5 in the entire world. Number 5, Yoruba nation. So you can imagine what we have been deprived. Where are the other group of companies? The seed that we are using today in the Nigerian Port Authority was developed with Western Nigeria money. It belongs to Western Nigeria. And all of a sudden, because of our love for our neighbor, everything has been hijacked and we are being made as slaves on our own land. This rubbish must finish. The time has come now. If we miss this opportunity, like let me tell you, destruction is staring at us as Yoruba people. This is the reality. Go and pray over it. Go and consult your prophet and prophet and go and ask if Nigeria is real. Is a business enterprise for Eurofulani conspiracy, Eurofulani ensemble. This is the reality. That's why they are giving all this military power to the north so they can suppress us and they can find a way to cajole us so that they can to suppress us. So the spirit that is springing up now is not your spirit. It is the spirit of the Yoruba owners, the spiritual owners of Yoruba. They are the one that is oozing up your spirit to go and seek for your freedom. If you fail in this dispensation, if you fail in this protest to grab Yoruba nation out of this entrapment called Nigeria, I am telling you, all your effort at this protest is going to be in vain. This is reality. Please do it. And Nigeria now must be our new hashtag. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I'm going to cause a little bit of controversy. I'm going to cause a little bit because this question is very, very controversial, and I'm going to ask it. Because if you don't know something, the Bible even said ask. So I want to ask this question. Do you think Christianity and Islamic religions has been a setback for our nation? Let's go to Mr. Temitope first on this one.
Well, I believe very much that the issue of religion is, very, very sensitive when you want to talk about, nation building. Before now, before the advent of the white man, the Yoruba
I want us
nation,
to be very sincere to ourselves, though, on this one.
Yeah,
Be sincere, regardless of who is listening.
I'm a very blunt person. The Yoruba nation existed even before we had, the influence of, the white man. And we had organization in our land. We had...
maybe I should reframe the question, sir. Maybe I should reframe the question. Right. In the early 70s, there's no Pentecostal church.
Right.
And so many things was happening. I.e., when we were young, I don't know about you, but some of you might remember, some of my audience might remember, sometimes ago, they used to put their goods on the side of the road, and the seller of this good is not there.
That's
they
true.
Write the amount, the price of the goods there. We used to see yam, we used to see cassava, we used to see pepper in a bowl, we used to see even the bushmeat being laid on the side of the road. And they write the price there. My father has packed up there so many times, buy whatever we want to buy, and put the money there. Sometimes we even make money there on the table. And boom, Pentecostal spring up. And people don't go to work anymore. They go to church Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And we've been managed in a dogmatic way now that we lost our brain. Because if not, this issue of youth rising up will have risen up long time ago. If these youth are churchgoers, they won't rise up the way they rise up. Mr. Tibitokwe.
Yeah, like I was saying, the Yoruba people had, we had organization, we had a religion even before the white man came. The white man came, brought in, Christian religion, and the Trans-Sahara slave traders, they brought in Islam, through the Sahel, and this in a way came into our society, and to a certain extent it has divided rather than unite us. I'll be very categorical here. I believe very much that you can practice whatever religion you choose, but with the present state of things in Africa, not just Nigeria, a lot of people have been, so, their brains have been taken away, not to even accept what is actually theirs. I believe very much when you go around the world, China still, they have their own practice, and today China is one of the greatest nations on earth. You go to India, they have their practice. The best ITs, the best pharmaceutical companies in the world, they are from India. So Africa also has its own kind of, we have our own traditional beliefs, which is what is supposed to be a driving force, which is supposed to be something that's supposed to give us direction. But some leader said, when the white man came, he came trying to give us the Bible, taught us to close our eyes to pray, and by the time we opened our eyes, we have the Bible, and he got the land. What does that say? Philosophically, it means the white man has only come with religion, with Christianity and Islam, to steal what is actually ours. Even as we speak in the British Parliament, these are people who brought Christianity to Africa. They have our own orthodox, our own traditional means of consulting when situations get out of hand. Why are they using that if the tradition of our people seem to be bad? But today, like I said, religion is an opium in the society. Just give it to them and people go crazy. So as a matter of fact, I believe very much the incursion of Western religion, Christianity, whether it's Islam, has so much affected our development. And it is also the ethnic, it is also the religious card they play now. If truly these are things that Africans should really hold on to, why is there so much division? And when you look at it closely again, of this religion, you have different sects. The CAC does not like the Deeper Life does not like the Pentecostal does not like the Anglican, then the Sunni.
I think someone is trying to reach out to my brother there. While we're waiting for him to reconvene, I'm going to go quickly to, maybe I should go to Tony, or maybe I should leave Tony out of this question. Tony is a pastor, and I don't want to offend him. I think the gentleman is back.
I'm happy to take it on.
Okay, let's let him finish, because I think it's just come back now. It's just come back. I can see him at the door now. Unless, no, he hasn't come back yet. He's trying to open the door. What I'm going to do is, let me give it to Tony first. I'm going to mute his microphone so that, in case he come back in between the program. Tony, what's your take?
Yeah. Well, religion has been a problem, clearly, because we can see the streets of Nigeria full of churches, right? Every street corner you go to, you have churches. And we have so many churches, yet society is in decadence, right? And society is decaying, people are hungry, there's unrest, and all of that, homelessness and all that. So there's something clearly wrong there. But I don't think that religion is a problem per se, be it Christianity or Islam, because I think that both either religion, and religion as a whole is a personal thing. I mean, you go to your house, you worship your God the way you want to worship your God. I think it's a very, very personal thing. So the reason why I think our country and our society has decayed is because we are not having a robust conversation. Our political system is nonsense, right? It does not facilitate the best minds to come to power. And the parliamentary system we have in England here is, for me, the best way to develop any nation. Because you have to show up. The prime minister, as busy as he is, he has to show up at the House of Commons every Wednesday, 12 noon, and take questions. And those questions are recorded on video, audio, in print, and archived forever. And everyone has access to it. And so you have a situation whereby people are not held accountable. You have a political system where there's no accountability. That's what's going on in America, where the nation has not been able to hold Trump accountable. So Trump has done all kinds of stuff. But that would not happen in Westminster, sir. The parliamentary system of government is the fastest and the most efficient way to develop any nation. Okay, there's a cabinet of equals. You have cabinet responsibility, and the prime minister and his team have to show up in parliament every Wednesday, 12 noon, take questions. So if you have a system like that, whereby representatives are actually having serious debate, what they do in National Assembly is not a debate. That's just a ruse, a complete ruse. It's nonsense. It's comical. It's a joke, right? So watch Tony Blair debate David Cameron, right? Then you see how to have a robust conversation that brings out the best ideas, okay? And because you get the best ideas, you have better governance. And because you have that robust conversation and the whole nation is watching, you have accountability. When Tony Blair left office, in his last speech, he said, if there's one compliment I will pay to this house, it's that I never came to this house on Wednesday without fear and trembling. He came prepared. He prepared himself thoroughly before he showed up at the dispatch box, because he knows what he's going to get from the other side. They're not going to take prisoners from him. But look at what we have in Nigeria. Buhari doesn't even come and talk to us. You can't interview the man. You can't question the man. You can't challenge the man. I mean, what the heck is that? I mean, that's just a joke. Okay? So no wonder we're coming out with ridiculous decisions, ridiculous policies. There's no accountability. There's no means by which we hold either our president or our governors accountable. That's why they can steal money, do whatever they like, and get away with it. Okay? It doesn't happen in Westminster. It doesn't happen in England. It cannot happen in England. Okay? Because the prime minister has to show up, and he's going to take those questions, and there's going to be analyzed, they're going to be critiqued, and it's going to be published. Okay? So I don't think religion is a problem. I think our political system is the problem. But since we have this presidential system, which I think we've copied, and I agree with my friend Mr. Timitokwe, we have taken a poor photocopy of the original, which is the American model. I don't, that's in a poor photocopy. So we have not devolved power to the states as the American system devolved power to the states. Okay, so that's a big mistake Nigeria has made there. But if you have that, you will have the beginnings of a serious nation. Okay, where
That's
in
right.
your state they have local police, local government police. I lived in Atlanta,
That's
Georgia for 4 years. Okay, in
right.
Atlanta, Georgia, the commissioner of police runs for office. Okay, and if he
Right.
does a poor job, he doesn't get back in. Okay, that's the
That's
system
right.
there in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, in United Kingdom here we'll have a similar thing going on. We'll have the City of London Police. Every local authority basically is local government, involved in policing. But in Nigeria, we'll have a complete idiotic, nonsensical, illiterate solution where one man sits in an ivory tower and makes decisions about how to police Ibadan or how to police Lekki or how to police Enugu or where. It's a joke. Okay, there's no intelligence to that. Okay, so and that happens because you have a nation where people are not having serious conversations. And so Nigeria is overripe for rebellion, revolution, what's going on now. Nigeria is long overdue for this, because the system puts so much power in a few men and then they screw up the life of so many people. So eventually you're going to have this. And I hear the passion. I feel the passion of my friend, Mr. Temitope, Mr. Fatai, and also Mr. Babalola when they make the case for the Yoruba people. I understand. I empathize with how they feel. I mean, you have to respect that. And Yoruba people are a great people. Yoruba people provide tremendous intellectual capital for Nigeria. Yoruba people, I know the Yoruba land had the television since the 1950s. And then today, look at where it is. I have no problem with making that case because at the end of the day, if you look at it properly and intelligently, the more successful the Yorubas are, the better for Nigeria. The more successful the Igbos are, the better for Nigeria. The more successful the Benin people are, the better for Nigeria. You have to allow each people to fly, to run, to be the best that they can be. Because when they do that, they will increase their GDP, they will pay taxes, the taxes help everybody. In Ekiti, for instance, we have more professors in Ekiti than the whole Nigeria put together. I mean, that's something you have to celebrate. And then you cannot stifle that. You have to encourage that. Okay? So in Enugu, for instance, we have a guy called Innocent Motors who's manufactured a motor car, right? He manufactured a Jeep, a saloon, and all of this, a truck, and all. You have to celebrate all of that. If you stifle the ingenuity of the Yoruba people, or the Shakiri people, or the Igbo people, or the Benin people, because of all this funny contraption that we have, called Nigeria, it doesn't serve anybody. We all lose. So you can understand, any sensible person can understand why Yoruba people are frustrated and they say they want their own nation. And you can understand why, Nnamdi Kanu, for instance, and a lot of Igbo people, I'm an Igbo man, also Nnamdi Kanu and a lot of Igbo people are saying they want Biafra because they want their own identity, they want their own language, their own culture. They want the opportunity to fly, to be the best that they can be. That is a fundamental human right to any man, to want to be the best that he can be, for himself and for his family. So, sir, in submission, I don't see it as religion. I see it more as a political system which is holding us captive, which is frustrating us, which is not helping us to be the best that we can be. It is my interest as an Igbo man to have, actually I grew up in Lagos and I went to primary school, secondary school in Lagos. So I have a lot of Yoruba friends, and we have fantastic conversation on this matter. Some of them feel that, we can still make it. I went to Government College of Lagos, so a lot of my friends in our Old Boys Network, they feel that we don't need to break up and order, and others feel passionate, like Mr. Babalola and Mr. Temitope, that Nigeria has had it. We need to move on. You have to respect that, and it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. It's like that for a reason. If we had allowed each tribe, each nation in Nigeria to fly, to be the best that it can be.
Right.
And
Right.
people probably won't be talking about this now. That's really
Right.
one.
Okay, thank you very much for that comprehensive enough. Well, sum up. I want to congratulate. It is someone is actually jumping up here, right here. My good friend Ade Omoluabi, who is saying up Ekiti Kete. Yes, I celebrate Ekitis as well. I have so many friends who are from Ekiti. Even my brothers here who brought me to this struggle is an Ekiti person, and without him, I can never be in this struggle because I don't want to have to do anything with Nigeria again after that time that I feel things are not working at all. The 1999 Constitution, so many people think is the problem.
Please, can I speak about the issue of the religion? The religion issue, please.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Ogonibido.
Yeah, thank you very much. There is one artifact here that we have to follow, and which we have to understand.
Don't move close to your camera because I see your chair jumping forward.
Okay, sorry about that. There is one basic fact that we have to actually face here. I know religion is a very sensitive issue, but the point still remains that, as the Bible says, only the truth can give us freedom. Whether people like it or not, there is no any way we can sort forward when we live on a borrowed culture. Tell me a nation that has actually built up under the Anglo-American sort of mentality that has made it. Tell me a nation that has actually sought forward as a nation, so proud to be itself. I mean, among those nations who have affiliated to both the so-called United Kingdom of America. What so many nations have faced under them has been repressive and oppressive sort of contribution and sort of alliance. Now look at the nations of the world who have made it. We are talking about Japan. We are talking about America.
China.
We are talking about England. We are talking about those nations that actually, how many of them are actually into both Islamic and the Christian religion? How many of them? We have Japan. We have India. They all thrive on their own religious setting and on their own language. When you lose your religion, when you lose your language, when you lose your culture, you are completely finished. This is the reality.
That's right.
Now you are being taught in
true.
school, you are being taught a subject in school of chemistry. And when that chemistry now comes as an exam, you go there to write the terminology of biology. Are you going to pass? This is the reality.
No.
Our culture is our own sort of code for our spiritual development. There is nothing about genius. There is nothing about being brilliant. It's all spiritual endowment. People who have this knowledge, who are excelling in education, they are excelling not because of any genius content in their genes, it's because spiritually something is guiding them that is making them to be better than the others. So religion is a very deep issue that actually molds the humanity. And so when you now live on a borrowed culture, on a borrowed religion, how can you make it? They came and sold all these things to us, knowing that it is the only way to derail us from our main goal in the past. So we've been completely derailed. This is the reason why what is happening right now, we are seeing the spirit of our forefathers rising up to put us now on the right rail of development. And we have to grab it. I'm a very good Christian. Even though born to a Muslim home, in my family, we are both Muslim and Christian. We don't discriminate. We woke up in the morning, those who go to church, go to church. We go to mosque, go to mosque. We don't even know. So that's why I don't care. When I see the best I can serve, because that's what everybody does, I have to do it. But when you go spiritually, you understand that we are the real arbiter, we are the real nucleus of world religion. What we have is better than what has been given to us, and this has actually created the backwardness that we find ourselves in today. We have to be realistic. Many of these countries who are encouraging us to follow their religion, many pastors you see in Pentecostal, in so many, they have certain amount of money that is being given to them by Britain, by America, because all this Christianity is another way of eroding the mentality, the sensibility, the mental being of the black race, so that we will not be thinking about development, we'll be thinking about religion. This is an entrapment. They deliberately model us to be that so that they can destroy us, and they are destroying us. This is the reality.
I think we just lost in there.
Yeah. Why is it that when we're making very vital points, that's when you lose us?
Or maybe we just assume in that. I think it's back.
What shows you what he has said, what you are made of. This is what created us. We should use it to develop. Give us this borrowed culture or borrowed religion. This is the reality. We have to really go back to the root and go and write our own Yoruba culture Bible. And that is the way that can make us to life. Otherwise, I tell you something. A Bible. When next we are in a program and I'm at home, I will show it to the world. The Bible we are reading today, let me tell you, is only about the Bible I have apartments. That goes to show you that every content that has created development for the entire human race, the secret of that development is being hidden. What they gave us is empty Bible. I'm telling you, there are certain words that Moses said before the sea separated. There are words that Jesus Christ spoke before he can turn water to wine. There are a lot of things that happens in the spiritual realm. Our people are telling us that in the name of Jesus is the only thing. There are things Jesus had that to say. When he went to fast, there are certain words that he has to use to be able to command the authority, so that the authority will allow things to happen. This is the reality. We cannot be living of borrowed religion and think that we are going to make it. We have to go past anytime when the old tradition takes off. We have to be teaching our children in Yoruba language. India today, Russia today, all the nations that are developed, they teach their own people in their own language. So we are our own enemy because we have been so stupid as to borrow a foreign religion that has created backwardness for us for over 200 to 400 years. But let us have our hope in our coming generation.
Yeah, I'd like to respond to Mr. Fatai, if I may.
Okay, go ahead.
If I have it. Yeah, he makes a very good case for identity, language, and culture, and I highly appreciate that. Our identity is very, very important, and we need to do everything we can to celebrate that. Like you said, if your identity is taken from you, your language is taken from you, your culture is taken from you, you're finished. And he makes a very good case there. I fully support that. But where I disagree with him is on the issue of that religion is the cause of our failings. It can't be religion, because you can see that it cannot be Christianity or Islam, because you can see that the Indians have a different religion and they're doing very well. The Chinese have a different religion and they're doing very well. Even the South Koreans, they have a different religion and they're doing very well on their own, just like the Japanese. So it's not religion that is the cause of our wars. I understand. I appreciate it. So it's not religion that is the cause of our wars. The cause of our wars.
It's part of it, sir. It's part of it.
Well, I hear you. I disagree. Because the cause of our wars is education, mental engagement. That for me is the cause of our wars. Okay, and a poor political system. So There's a reason why in the United Kingdom, in the United States, for instance, education is compulsory until you're the age of 18 in the UK. Okay? In the US, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia, education is compulsory until the age of 16. You can't get your driver's license until the age of 16 because you're supposed to be in school. The same thing in the UK here, from up to the age of 18 is compulsory. Up to the age of 16 is compulsory. So the reason why they do that is because you must have a level of education to be able to live in a civilized society. Even if you're going to do menial work, you're going to do low-level work, like being a driver or being a mechanic or whatever, you must have a basic level of education. Now look at Nigeria, for instance. In some parts of our country, they say education is not important. So, how are we going to flow together? In some parts of the country, they say that, some people don't need to go to school. They stay home and all that. And I don't understand that. So, but if you have a system where everybody is having a most basic education from primary to 18, you have 5-year-old to 18 years old, you're going to, and then we're also having a civilized conversation. We'll have a political system that enables us to have proper checks and balances. You'll see that better ideas are going to come forth. And as better ideas come forth, we're going to have better decisions, we'll have a better nation. And the case Mr. Fatai makes about identity, culture, language, also, supports the argument of devolution of power, okay, which is what United Kingdom did. They devolved power to the Scots. If you know anything about UK history, you know that the Scots and the English don't agree. Okay, the Scots and the English don't agree. So they devolved power for peace. Okay, and that's what Nigeria should have done a long time ago. Devolve power, trying to, a Fulani man trying to control a Yoruba man is an exercise in futility. Okay, or trying to force a Yoruba man to embrace his language and culture.
Religion factor is part of this. Religion factor is part of this. Religion factor is part of this.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
This is part of the problem we are facing.
All I'm just saying is that religion is a personal thing. Identity, culture, all of that is very important. Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. But religion is a personal thing. And without religion, we can still succeed as a people, okay? Even as individual nations, we can still succeed. And every man can practice whatever religion he wants to practice in his house, okay? But give the people education. Let the people go to school. And I like that. I like what you said about teaching our children in Yoruba language and all of that. Yes, I am all for that. I think even up to first degree level, our education system in the west of Nigeria, for instance, should be in Yoruba language. Okay, from primary school all the way to first degree. The same thing in the east, the same thing in the Midwest. We need to teach our own language. I've lived in Europe, like most of you who live abroad. You see, you don't see, we're not speaking Russian in England, right, or in America. Right, and in America, in Russia, they're not speaking English as their first language. Indians, they don't speak English as the first language. The Germans don't speak English as the first language. So each nation, each country, the French, they speak French as their first language. They all speak English or other languages, but they speak French as the first language. So in the same way, Nigeria, this is how you build a strong nation. The Igbos should make sure that their children learn their language all the way to first degree level minimum. The same thing with Europe, the same thing with Benin, same thing with. So by the time we come together as federated states, we actually bring something to the table, to the conversation. I'll yield to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that.
This federation is fair. We don't need it anymore. The federation already is a spent force. We don't need it anymore.
Okay, let's go to Mr. because I think it was politically correct.
Yeah. So a lot of people do not know that, having to go back to a different nation would be a big plus for the supposed Nigeria, because there will be competition among nations.
Yes.
And that is what the white man, I believe, the British, who supports the Fulani, nation, they see and they're trying to destroy. Because if there's competition among the Yorubas, we're competing to be the best in technology, in development. The Fulani man or the people from the north will strive to build their nation. But look at it today. The Granite Pyramid is all gone. The hides and skin is all gone. The material production is all gone. And same thing happens to people from the southwest. The cocoa is all gone. They've destroyed all our investments. So, and you still want us to continue to be in that kind of nation? It's not possible. So I believe very much that with religion in place, practice your religion the way you want to do it, and let others do theirs. And in a very good way, I see that we'll do very well as individual nations than the entity we call ourselves right now.
Okay, thank you very much. We have to be writing it up very shortly because we getting there bit by bit. I really appreciate everyone on the panel today. Tomorrow, Tony will be starting his own program from 7 o'clock. Am I right, Tony? 7 o'clock in the evening?
7 o'clock, yeah.
And what's the program all about?
Well, we're going to be talking about what's going on in Nigeria. We're going to be talking about essentially Sorosoke, even though that is not the name of the program. The program is called Revolution in Nigeria, because I think what's going on in Nigeria is a mental revolution. So
Right.
we're going to be inviting, us Nigerians at home, abroad, to dive in, join the conversation, let your voice be heard, like our young people said,
Right.
so that we can keep this conversation going and see if we can come up with better ideas and therefore have a better nation. So that's what it's going to be all about.
Okay, that's what Tony program is all about. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock UK time. I have some few comments coming from there. I don't know whether I should open the line for a second. Should we open the line? Mr. Babala, you want to say something about that religion quickly, yeah?
Religion is a big issue that I don't want to talk much about. It's sort of fake on it, and then what they cannot practice is they try to implement it to Africa and in destroying Africa. We need to get rid of it. This is it.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. Babalola. I like your braveness. I know he's very brave. We're going to open the phone line for about 10 minutes. If you know the line, because we don't want it to just be talk. No, we don't want to be a radio. We want to have a conversation. So the line is now officially open. You know the rules. Go straight to your question. We don't want a very long question. Keep your question to a maximum of one per person. That would make things a little bit easier for me. The number to call is right at the bottom of the description for what we're doing today. And then we take it from there. The line is now open. If you need the line, let me know. But I'm sure most of you knows the number already. And then we can just take it from there. While we're waiting for people to call, tomorrow we have so many things lined up. And some of the things that we line up for tomorrow is we have 2 people we're interviewing from Nigeria. I believe from Nigeria, one from the UK tomorrow. And in the afternoon, I think this one is 11 o'clock. The first program we're having tomorrow is 11 o'clock. I will just run through that program quickly with you. The program is, 1 second, please, guys. I just want to make sure I'm not telling you what is not. Egbe Afeni Ferry is a 12 o'clock start program tomorrow. We want to talk about the Afeni Ferry group, a tangible asset of the Yoruba nation. It's an interactive program, and that program is being anchored by Erilu Ajunlola Ayorinde, Erilu Tuashe, not the Erilu Abikeade, but Erilu Tuashe. And that will be at 12 o'clock tomorrow, midday. So while we're waiting for that, I'm going to take some few comments. The first comment I see here is, I think people are trying to get in. Someone says SARS and Nigerian boys are taking it out on themselves. Religious is part of our predicament as a race. Our people have been brainwashed to believe that religion is the only way to communicate with Olodumare. Even the name Christianity is a way of life, not religious. People practice the way Christ lived. We must not lose our custom and tradition. I meant the good ones. In every society, there's always a good one. There's always a bad one. Let's go onto YouTube and see. Tony Akaba said it is religion, because some people think if you are not Muslim, you are devil. They should look, well, they should look at the mirror. The same person writes some few comments there. Ifa is the John Baptist of Christianity. Then Shinere said, "End Nigeria now for the freedom of Oduduwa and Biafra. That country called Nigeria will not work. Genocide everywhere, no job opportunity for the youth. Separation is the answer to your tent. Oh, Biafra and Oduduwa, delay is dangerous. We are keeping quiet while the Fulani are on ground to conquer us. God have mercy, the way they conquer Ilorin." Engineer Adamolekun said, "Absolute disgrace for woman life is the identity of disregard for woman life is the identity of all Nigerian government, including the present, the past, and the ugly as well." John Joy Olariwaju says, "In Nigeria now." Arishekola is talking about the program tomorrow in Lagos. Apapa port is being blockaded tomorrow. I know they blockade Muritala Mohammed Airport today. And some other people write some few comments. Thanks, sir. I'm here listening to the gentleman comparing Nigeria to the USA. Let's look on YouTube again. The comment on Twitter says, someone actually wrote a comment on Twitter. Let me go there quickly and fish that one out so that we just don't stay on YouTube alone, on Facebook, so that we don't ignore all our family in the other side of the world. I think this man is a jester. Anyway, it's a very long comment. Ajegunle, Sir and Ajegunle boss were like Yoruba Tom and Jerry. Sir and the Ikorodu were never saw eyes to eyes. You really expect peaceful protests in those areas? You must be kidding me. So-called the hoodlums are also Nigeria, remember. So-called the hoodlums are also Nigeria, remember. Many are marginalized towards the protesting line. Not necessarily because of SAR, but out of hopelessness, joblessness, homelessness, hunger, and despair and hunger. That was a very long one. Ari Shekola said that is on point. Let's go back to... Okay, people are asking for the number, but I don't think we're going to have to take calls again because time is fast spent on this one. Funny, someone text me on the number to say, what's the number to call? That's a bit funny, isn't it? You texting me on the number to call to ask me for the number to call. Huh? What kind of life is that? Come on, we need to grow up on this issue, man. We can't keep doing that. +44 734 123 4560, and that is WhatsApp only. WhatsApp only, please. You can't call me. Oh, I'm not even typing the number. Oh my word! Sorry. +44 734 123 4560. WhatsApp only. Only, guys. Okay, that's the number on WhatsApp only. What's he doing after WhatsApp? Okay, so that is the number to call there. But I'm afraid we don't have much time. So if you don't actually call in now, you will be missing the boat. You will be missing the boat. I'm gonna try and pin it to Facebook as well. Sorry guys, on Twitter, I don't know how to pin number on Twitter, so you might have to bear with me. If you cannot hear the answer, the number, then sorry, I can't do more than that. I'm so sorry. Okay, if you want to call in, the line is now open now, and we only got about 3 minutes to close the show. Mr. Babalala, your last say on the show tonight.
I have no much to say. There's just for to tell young generation over there that I salute their courage, and we support them. And some of the governor in Southwest should think twice now. It's rather to defend their interests or to defend their heritage, or they lost it forever. And the same thing in Biafra land as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Let's go to Mr. Fatai Ogonibido. If he's still there, it seems he's falling asleep or he's tired or something like that. He's putting his head down. Maybe he's thinking about Yoruba Nation, Yoruba Runo. Go ahead, Mr. Fatai Ogonibido. Your last word on the program.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your contributions tonight. And at least I know that one way or the other, we have lifted some spirits tonight. And let us have a feeling that current Nigeria we're having is dead. Whether we like it or not, it is either we grab Bastini and South Nigeria and try to start building our from the hands of the Fulani. This is the reality. You use of Nigeria, kudos. Lord, power to protect you. No weapon against you will ever prosper. And in every way that you are carrying out this protest, by God's grace, you are going to come on top. Now, up your protest it to a next level. Hashtag end Nigeria now, and let us campaign. Otherwise, your future is being put into jeopardy. There is no Nigeria. Nigeria is 60 years of independence. Nothing has come out of it for everybody. No water, no good road. And those people who have hijacked the country, they will never allow you to have any say. Cast your mind back to the so-called revolution now. What stake did they have? Cast your mind back to those organizations that Fela Nicola Kukuti used to have, the movement of the people. Cast your mind back to Tunji Braithwaite. Now, these are people who fought for the youths, who organized good political parties. Eventually, they got frustrated because the system has been wired to Fulani domination and Fulani hegemony. And there is no way, as long as you remain Nigeria, you are going to be controlled from the Emma's Palace. The Emma's Palace in association with their with those who send them on the errand, who are our colonial powers, using them to exploit, to destroy us as a nation. Yoruba nation arise and let us give the black world pride. Let us put ourselves in the position that God has put us from heaven, and let us make sure that no any weapon fashioned against Odua nation is going to prosper. By God's grace, we are going to get there, and Odua nation is going to emerge. And Biafra nation very soon will emerge, and Nigeria will be a thing of the past, so we can start to rewrite our history as a people with positive mind, as a people that has vision, as a people that God has created to go and better humanity, as a people who have been created to be served even by the white people. But that issue is being changed in the issue of Jacob and Esau. That glory God has given to us as Jacob has been given to Esau. The tide must change. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Even though your last statement is a very long statement, this man is just like Oliver Twist. I don't know what's wrong. Let's go to the man is so passionate about what is discussing anyway. Amani Joe, I've actually just pinned the number for you. I'm sorry I didn't see that before. Oh no, I haven't actually done that. I put it there, but I didn't pin it, so I'm sorry for that. Okay. So I've just pinned the number now. I'm sorry for that. I'm going to give it to Temitope now to have his last word. The reason I'm keeping Tony last is because I want him to talk a little bit more about his program tomorrow. Go ahead.
I very much support our youths on the EndSARS hashtag EndSARS Sorosoke. I support them 100%. This is a battle for their destiny, and they should not be intimidated by whatsoever tactics the government of Nigeria might be playing, whatever card they're trying to play at this time. Because if they do not go ahead, we will not have solutions to the problems of Nigeria. I support all the organizers and people on the street, the parliament, the people on the street. They are the power of Nigeria. I support you 100%. EndSARS, EndSARS, EndSARS.
And end Nigeria.
End Nigeria.
Currently, as we speak, there are burning cars. Cars are burning in Abeokuta now. As we speak now, cars are on fire. Not just one, but so many cars are on fire in Abeokuta. There is a big problem going on currently in Abeokuta now. I'm gonna try and see if I'm not sure if that is in Abeokuta. No, it's actually in the northern part of Nigeria.
I've told you before that they don't know what is coming.
Yeah.
They don't know what is coming. They don't know what is coming. They don't know what is coming.
Let me just say
I'm waiting for tomorrow.
This is a military tactics by the government of Nigeria.
I'm waiting for tomorrow. I'm waiting for tomorrow. The same military that Buhari will bring out, will kill him. Write it down. Thank you.
This is a military tactics by the government of Nigeria. Like someone said earlier in the video that went viral, these people are very good. They are warlord generals. They know the tactics on how to get things to happen. They see that they have tried everything possible to try and bring these young people out of the street to stop the protest, but they have not succeeded in any way. They see that they have, all their cards have been exhausted. So now they are using, their military strategy to try and use, deploy soldiers everywhere in the land. If they don't do this, then they won't have a right to, say soldiers should go out. They went first to Benin to release soldiers from, jail. I saw the gate of the jail was locked. Then who opened the cells of, and allowed the prisoners to climb over, So these are strategies. So they would have a reason to say, oh, this is the reason why we're trying to lock down the whole nation, curfew everywhere, the soldiers everywhere. I am just saying this to the people of the EndSARS. The United Nations is watching you. It's a peaceful protest. Keep on peacefully protesting on the streets of Nigeria. Don't be cajoled by the strategy of the military and cabals who have destroyed Nigeria to where, have made it, what it is today. Keep protesting. Don't give up. It's a strategy they are trying to use so that they can send in their soldiers on the street. So I urge everybody, be diplomatic in the way you go about it. Keep protesting.
I think there, Fatah Ogunbido actually infects Temitope there. Temitope has a very long run as well. So, but before I give it to this young man who is waiting patiently for me there's something I want to say. Because of EndSARS movement, the eyes of young people across Africa is on Nigeria at the moment. We want to learn from you. End bad governance. Mohamed Salah is the one that actually said that. So let's give it to Tony. Tony, don't copy those two people. Be yourself. Give it to us. Your last word on this today.
Thank you, sir. I just want to say thank you so much to Heritage TV for making this possible. Without Heritage, this would not have been possible. So a shout out to Heritage TV. And I also want to thank my panelists, my co-panelists tonight, Mr. Babalola. Sorry, sir, again for what you have gone through. Apologize on behalf of Nigerian people. And for our brother, Mr. Fatai, I hear the passion with which you speak. I understand. I know where you're coming from. And brother, Mr. Tibutokwa in the US, thank you so much. It's a pleasure crossing swords with you guys. And to the young people in Nigeria, I join my friends here in celebrating you all for the courage and the wisdom of the way you conducted yourself. So I will again encourage you, like my friends have done, be wise in the way you conduct yourselves. Don't go burn things up. Don't go looting and all of that. You've been very smart. You've been very savvy. You've been praying. You've been singing and all of that. So you've been cleaning up as well. So don't give the government the opportunity to arrest you and to lock you up and so on and so forth. So just do the right thing. So and on that note, I'll just say thank you so much for the show tomorrow. It's called Revolution in Nigeria. Again, it's an opportunity for us to continue to engage in the conversation in Nigeria. Our young people, our intellectuals, our lawyers, and all of that. So you can expect to have a lot of heavyweight people like my co-panelists tonight, and then a few other people that I'm inviting to the program. So I believe that the more we engage as a people, instead of playing the ostrich, instead of playing the blame game, the more we get involved, especially our generation in our 40s and our 50s, who are educated both in Nigeria and the United States and Europe and all of that, I think we're in a good position to help solve the Nigerian conundrum. And with that, I'll say thank you very much, gentlemen. Pleasure being with you tonight.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. I think I really want to show something. There's something I want to show because this is very important for me to show. And there's something I need to say to you guys. What is happening now is more than what is going on, because what is going on now is becoming a pandemic, is becoming a big issue. In Kano, the Fulani guys went around burning people's car at the protest. They were burning the cars of people who attend the protest in Kano, and that is causing a lot of distress for a lot of people. So I'm going to show that to you a little bit. It's a shame it happens, and this is what happened in Kano today.
A whole car stand raised down on fire. A whole car stand here in Apo. A whole car stand here in Apo. Look at people's cars burning. Can you imagine? Look at people's cars burning. This is a car stand raised down. I don't know what these boys want. Attacking peaceful protesters. These car sellers, they are not protesting. The car sellers are not protesting. Why are you burning our cars? Why are you burning our cars? Why are they burning our cars? These Fulani boys, why are they burning our cars? Why? Why? You can imagine.
Okay, that's the bit I can show you for today. The rest are too graphic to show because some other things break out there which we don't want to get involved with. I want to thank everyone on the planet today. Thank you very much for joining me today. Tomorrow is another day. Tony Nwese will be ending the program tomorrow. And then I believe there's another program tomorrow, like I said, and 2 programs tomorrow. So altogether tomorrow is 3 programs. We've moved away from 1 program a day to 3 programs a day. And I pray that God will be able to sustain what we are doing in that part of things. I know it's a lot of work. It's a hard work to do this, but we will get there bit by bit. There's nothing anybody could do apart from get there, and we shall get there, inshallah, as some people will say, by the grace of God. I want to thank you, everyone who has joined tonight. Everybody that's joined from different part of the world, from Lagos, from Ikorodu, from Peckham, from Kano, from Maiduguri, from Ghana, from anywhere you join from. I want to thank you and thank the panelists tonight as well. On behalf of everybody in the studio tonight, I want to say thank you very much for joining us. And I want to appreciate everyone who has been volunteering and doing all those things in the studio. I really appreciate you, and God will bless you and grant your effort. To the youth who are out there risking their own life, I want to say a very big thank you to you guys as well. Even though these people say you should move it from one place to the other, no, if that's not what the Olodumare told you, don't listen to them. You follow your heart. They've been advising you all this while. but still it doesn't work for them. So they cannot do it. Why do they have to tell you how to do it? Just do your thing your own way, and let's move forward with it. Wherever you go now, let's do it this way. I will follow you. Yeah, you know that song? That's what we're gonna do. But don't worry. Everybody, good night. Don't have nightmare. Enjoy your sleep. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the newly formed Ududuwa Nation.
Everybody in London, have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream that was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020-800-46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.